Well, greetings everybody. Seems like I've got my microphone fixed. If I don't, please let me know. I'm over here at Magnetic Nature, and I want to propose a theory, and that's it. How our sun orbits Sirius. This may be common knowledge by now, but it is essential to completely understand what is actually going on. There are many sources on the internet talking about this, so I'll keep this short. Our sun is in binary orbit with the Sirius system and is the reason for the precession of the zodiac and not the slow revolution of Earth's poles. There is a lot of evidence for this, and I'd like to present what I've learned, beginning with our circle again and the center point. We have representation of our sun and its boundary of influence. This is not an exact representation, but it's very close. The sun is nearly a perfect sphere, so it is safe to assume that its orbit is also circular and not too eccentric, right here. Now we add a second circle, the same radius, that is offset to the edge of this one, creating the Vesica Pisces in between them. Currently, the two stars are starting to close in on each other as they come around the bend from the farthest distance. Currently, the two are about 8.66 light years apart, and they have been heading toward each other for about 2,000 years now. Okay? Our sun and Sirius. Okay? It has been it was observed before that time that Sirius appeared red. This makes sense because as stars move away from each other, they appear red to someone looking at it. And when they move toward each other, they would appear blue. Stars that do not move relative to Earth, relative to each other, will look white. The best evidence of Sirius being red comes from the Greek astronomer Claudius Ptolemy, who in 150 AD wrote that Sirius was red in color. He compared Sirius to 5 other stars which are currently red stars today: Betelgeuse, Pollux, Aldebaran, and Antares, Arcturus. Before I continue, I want to show you, okay, I'm going to leave it right there so I remember my place. I want to show you what Earth's sun would look like if Sirius became Earth's sun. As you can see, if Sirius became Earth's sun, it would be bright white, unlike our regular sun, which is yellow. Look at the difference, okay? Do we see this up in our sky, or do we see this bright illuminated white object? Sirius has a brightness that is 20 times more than the sun, and also a temperature that exceeds it by 4,000 Kelvin. So as you can see, the difference in sizes of Earth's regular sun being yellow and smaller, and Sirius would be a bright white sun. Does that sound familiar? When you look up at the sun with sunglasses, preferably, what do you see? Do you see this color, or do you see this white sun up in the sky? Because I know I do. So again, this is just a theory. Back to the article. Some may believe that the precession of the equinoxes is caused by the slow and steady wobble of Earth's poles, caused by gravitational forces from the Moon, Sun, and partially Jupiter. The odds of this occurring naturally because of gravity are astronomical, to say the least. The alternative is that we are in a binary orbit with Sirius, which takes 2,400 years to complete. The reason for using the 24,000, I'm sorry, I misread that. The reason for using the 24,000 year figure and not the 26,000 year one, which is currently calculated based on the movement of the stars, is because as the two stars approach each other, the closer they get, the faster they will travel. 4,000 years from now, the rate precession will increase. The Greek astronomer Hipparchus created his star catalog in 129 BCE. While comparing his observations with those made by earlier Babylonian astronomers, he noticed that the stars had shifted, or rather that Earth itself had shifted. There you go. Okay? Right there. So, with all the things going on Earth today, the volcanoes. Now I know some of those volcanoes are being manipulated by the blah 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 blah, the evil ones. What was I saying? Okay, every time I talk about the evil people, I lose track. So anywho, he calculated that the rate of precession was 1 degree per century, which is very close to today's value of 1 degree for every 72 years. Does that mean that every 72 years, Sirius becomes our sun? Maybe I read that wrong. Not sure. Again, I don't need naysayers. I'm only proposing a theory. His estimate would make sense, as Helios would have been traveling at its slowest velocity relative to Sirius at this point in history. And don't forget, the star Sirius does have a white dwarf next to it. So, people who are thinking they see, Nibiru behind the sun, well, how's this for a theory? The sun's not the sun. The sun is Sirius, and you guys can go ahead and fact check me by researching this yourselves, but Sirius A, okay, has a white dwarf with it, and that can be seen easily. It stays right by the sun at this point in history, around the time it was changing from red to blue. Okay? Red to blue. Red and blue Kachinas. Yeah. Yep. Red and blue Kachinas. Sirius does not precess with the other stars. Instead, it moves in the exact opposite direction to balance perfectly with Earth's precession cycle, and looks as though it is standing still relative to the other stars. As mentioned before, Sirius is responsible for Earth's orbital eccentricity, since it is known that Earth's perihelion aphelion is in alignment with Sirius. The same way the Moon's perihelion is directly related to its position relative to the Sun and the Earth. When the Moon is full, being in direct opposition to the Sun is when it's closest to the Earth. This has never changed since the beginning of time, so it is safe to relate Sirius and Earth's orbital eccentricity. As the Sun orbits Sirius, the nodes of Earth's perihelion aphelion axis are always 90 degrees to Sirius, and this would cause the zodiac to rotate in the opposite direction that the Sun moves through them during a normal yearly cycle. In astrology, we say the Sun begins in Aries and moves through Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, etc. Precession means to move backwards. So, as the Sun orbits Sirius, the stars move the opposite way. And in case you haven't noticed, the nighttime sky looks a lot different. Currently, we have just moved out of Pisces and into Aquarius, or 30 degrees of the circle closer to Sirius. Now here's another graph, which I'll show you. It's not to scale. You might want to pause it here. Okay. But you can see this line, this yellow line right here. Alright? Sirius A, the Sun. Sirius B, that's the dwarf. Look where it is. Okay? Look where it is. And then you have Sirius C. Could be another dwarf. So if Sirius A is our Sun right now, and people are seeing, white dwarfs, this might just be the reason why. 24,000-year cycle is also called the Great Year, Great Cycle, or Cycle of the Yugas. There are other names, but these are some common ones. There is a special event associated with this cycle, which was recorded in history and then lost to antiquity, but it resonates within us and is something we cannot forget as human beings. So you tell me, what do you see in our sky? This big bright white thing, or that little yellow sun that we once upon a time saw? Again, a theory, but you know what? This is an image of what Earth would look like if Sirius became our sun, and I don't know about you, but that is what I'm seeing up in the sky. This bright, white, extremely hot sun. So, once again, my theory, I would appreciate it if you would leave your comments. Again, no naysayers, no name calling, none of that in the comments, please. I'm just presenting a theory. All right, everybody. Have a wonderful day. Take care.